through in the clutch, it seems like, talking about the greatest defenses since 2000. He had the 2014-15 Warriors at number 5, the 01-02 Lakers, number 4, the 07-08 Celtics at number 3, the 02-03 Spurs, number 2, and then the 03-04 Detroit Basketball Pistons coming in at number 1, and that was pretty cool. Do you think if you were to stack all 5 of these teams together, Detroit's defense would actually be able to hold it up with the rest of these teams? It'd be tough to get a few of these guys.
I do. It's just their defense, once they acquired Rasheed Wallace, was just absolutely insane. I mean, holding teams under 80 points a game during that era was just like, you would see like some games it'd be like 60 points and they had like maybe 80. It's just like that type of defense you'll probably never see in the NBA again. And what they did was just absolutely insane. I remember being a kid, like watching them, I was just like, oh, why does it'd be like halftime. How come they only have 20 points and we have 40? Like, I didn't know what I was watching. I didn't really appreciate the greatness at the time. But as I've gotten older and, rewatched old games, like the type of defense that they played, I think they do deserve to be, the number one best defense, since the 2000s, in my opinion.
So some people might laugh when I'm about to share this, but they had only 4 teams scored 100 or more points on them that year. That was the Miami Heat, the Dallas Mavericks, the Boston Celtics, and the Dallas Mavericks again. And then if you look 1 year ahead at the San Antonio Spurs, they had, I don't even know if I can count that many games. Way more than 4. We'll just say that. It's like 15. I'm just looking at it as a rough estimate. But again, it was a slower down era, but even the Spurs, the number 2 team on this list, they had a bunch of teams score over 100 points on them. I'm agreeing with Kendrick Perkins, and man, that defense, though, outside of them just shutting people down, it was how they did it. It was all 5 of those guys in the starting lineup that were just all in sync. And then you throw in a guy like Lindsey Hunter and Mike James later in the season, being that like those 2 pit bulls coming off the leash, just ready to attack you and get after you. That was pretty cool. Then you had big guys like Eldon Campbell and Mehmet Okur, who were just, both getting blocked, both blocking shots night in and night out. That was really cool to see. It was just a great collective effort. Like sometimes you see, 2 great defenders on a team and they're doing their things individually, but rarely do you see a team all working as one unit to hold opponents and suffocating them. That's what you got with the Detroit Pistons, the going to work squad.
Yeah, I was just happy we did get some national love, but since we did get national love, he called Tayshaun Prince Taurean Prince, which I kind of like. Obviously, he forgot his name because he said Rip Hamilton, Rasheed Wallace like 3 times.
Yeah,
and he's like, yeah, Taurean Prince. I was like, no, Perk, the Tayshaun Prince, not Taurean Prince.
Do you think Kendrick Perkins would actually be able to give you a good enough reason why the Pistons were number 1 on his list?
Probably because he had to play against them a lot.
But I just feel like he was just listing names. I watched that clip, and I think it was maybe 2 minutes, but I don't know. Maybe someone can correct me, but I don't feel like he gave you a good enough reason why the Detroit Pistons were number 1.
Yeah, he's not going to break down like the analytics of it. That's not like really what ESPN does. But I think for him to have them number 1, I think it was maybe it was like, previous relationships with players like Richard Hamilton, Rasheed Wallace, and Ben Wallace. But hey, man, I'm not going to discredit the list. I love that we were number 1. It seems like if we do get ESPN attention, it's not in a positive way. It's usually in a negative way. I love that they were forced to, acknowledge them because we really don't get that type of national love ever.